Hi guys, so today I'm going to be sharing with you the 10 yarns that I would repurchase or I have already repurchased. And these are some types of yarn that I do recommend strongly. I stand by them. I think they're great quality yarn and I love them for different reasons, and I'll be giving all those reasons today. But I just thought this would be maybe a helpful video, so if you guys are kind of curious about what yarns are out there, or maybe you want to try out some new yarns, this will kind of give you an idea of maybe some new ones to try. So let's get started. And I'm not going to go in any random order. There's not really like an ultimate yarn that I'm just like, this is number one. I don't really have any of this. These I all use for different purposes. And there's, like I said, different reasonings behind why I love this yarn. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is Lion brand Kubu yarn. So you probably have heard a lot about this yarn. A lot of people adore this yarn. They think it's the best. It is a size 3 yarn, so it's a little bit lighter. It kind of is by the DK weight. And I really like this yarn because it's super soft. It is lightweight. It's definitely nice for summer and spring projects because since it is a lighter yarn and very breathable, it does have a little bit, I believe, of bamboo in it. Yep, it has bamboo in it, so it's going to be very silky and soft, and it also has cotton in it, which is going to make it very breathable. And I just like this because I think this is a good go-to for a lighter weight yarn. It's super soft. They have beautiful colors. They don't have any variegated colors. They're all solid, I believe. I've never seen a variegated Kubu yarn, but they're all so beautiful. They have such a pretty range, and I really think this is a great lightweight yarn that people should check out. And I know they have also Kubu, which I have some in my stash, but I've not used it yet, so I'm curious to see how much I like that one compared to Kubu. But I definitely think if you're looking for a lighter weight yarn, you should definitely check out Kubu. And a great cotton yarn that I do love, and this is a worsted weight cotton, it is the Peaches and Cream, which this is by Walmart. And I just have this huge tub here because literally I didn't have one that has like just the normal packaging on it because I always rip off the packaging anytime I use cotton. So I only have the big guy here to show you guys. But I also really love Sugar and Cream. They're very similar, Peaches and Cream and Sugar and Cream. They feel very similar. They come in similar colors, so if you can't find Sugar and Cream, Peaches and Cream is definitely a good one to go with. But I like this cotton because it's a very just standard cotton to use if you're looking for just a plain old cotton. This one's really good. It's not super soft. It's a little bit more on the rough side, but it does soften over washes. So if you make a rag, a dishcloth, or even a pot holder, if you choose to wash your pot holders, it will soften over time. So just remember that. I would not make like a baby blanket out of it or anything because it might be a little bit rough on the skin, but it is still a good yarn and you definitely could get some really awesome things out of it. And I like that both brands have these kind of big, huge, round guys that you can use, and you can get a lot out of this, or you can make a bigger project and get a good, you'd only need one of these to make a really nice project. Another worsted weight yarn I love is I love this yarn by Hobby Lobby. This is a great standard worsted weight yarn. They come in so many different colors and patterns and different prints, variegated, so many different kinds of yarn colors at Hobby Lobby with this brand, and they're gorgeous. You can find so many fun different colors and also very trendy colors with their line. It's a very good standard worsted weight yarn if you're looking for just a standard color, but with that also means a lot of other people are going to have the same yarn you do. So you may be seeing the yarn you use for your shirt on somebody else in a different shirt. So it's a little bit more of a common yarn that people do use. So definitely keep that in mind if it would bother you if you saw someone else maybe using the same yarn you are in a similar context. Maybe you might want to try a different yarn because this is a very, very common yarn. It is super soft. It is probably one of the more softer worsted weight yarns out there. There are a few other ones that are softer, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit softer than maybe the basic yarns you can find at the store. And I do love that they have a huge range of colors. You can really try different colors if you want. You can make blankets out of this yarn. It's a really good just basic yarn to try. So it is one of my favorites, and I actually really love, this is their Stonewash color. I don't know, It's in the shade Coraline, and I do really love this one. This is probably one of my favorite shades that they have. It's just a beautiful coral color, and it's in the stone wash, so it kind of has a that appearance to it of kind of a creamy coral color. I also love, and this is by Hobby Lobby too, this is the Yarn Bee Cozy Toes, and I actually got this one on clearance recently. So this sock yarn is really nice because it has a bit of a stretch to it, which is really nice with socks because if you have, I haven't made a ton of pair of socks, but I made one pair, and I made it more out of a wool base, and there was really no stretch to it, and I kind of wish there was a little bit more stretch to it because you could make it maybe a little bit smaller, and then it will stretch out to your foot, making it fit a little bit better, rather than maybe making it your exact size and it stretch out and it never stretches back. With at least this one, there's stretch to it, so it'll stretch to become bigger, and then it'll go back to being smaller, which is really nice. They come in really cute shades. They have like a sunshine, like rainbow-ish shade that I really love. That one's one of my favorites, and I just think they come in really cute colors. There's no solid colors. They're only variegated. They're all kind of printed, but on the actual packaging it shows you what it's going to look like, which I think is really helpful, especially with like knitting and stuff like that. You can actually see what it's going to look like, so it can help you better prepare your project for that type of striping or that type of color work. So I really do like this yarn. I think it's a really good sock yarn. This is probably my favorite yarn that I can find at the store, and it is Caron Simply Soft. I have used Caron Simply Soft for so many projects. I have made my granny square vest out of it. I've made the summer tank top out of it. A couple years ago I made a granny square skirt out of it. I use Caron Simply Soft for a ton of projects. I also have a cardigan, 2 cardigans made out of it. I just always turned to Caron Simply Soft for garments for some reason. I think it's just because it's a really good quality yarn. It's soft, and it can be a little bit on the heavier side sometimes. If you use a small hook, it can get quite dense very quickly, so just keep that in mind. You maybe want to stick with maybe a bigger hook with this yarn to keep it light and flowy, because it still is a worsted weight yarn, so it does still have some weight to it, but it is a really nice yarn. I absolutely love it. They have beautiful shades. They have tweeds, they have some variegated, and then they have a bunch of solid colors. They're all really pretty. I love them, and I always turn for them for my garments. I don't know why, but I do, because I just love this yarn, and I think I like it because it's different than most acrylic yarns. It just looks nice and soft, and it washes really well. So I'd say I think Caron Simply Soft probably is one of my top yarns out there, and I have repurchased it over and over because I love it so much. Probably my favorite chunky yarn that I have repurchased a lot is the Lion brand Woolies Thick and Quick. I think this is everybody's favorite chunky yarn because it's so nice, because it's so thick and quick. It literally is the name of it, because you just work up any project you're making. It works up super fast. It's super pretty, and they have so many gorgeous shades. I love Lion brand Thick and Quick, especially for fall projects. You just buy a bunch of skeins of these. You can make knit beanies out of them. You can make sweaters. You could even make a gorgeous blanket. I mean, that would be a little expensive, but it would be a gorgeous blanket. And I think that this yarn is just one of my favorites also because they have a pretty nice range of colors. They don't really have a lot of vibrant, bright colors. It's more of the neutral, rich colors, which I think is kind of perfect because it is so used in fall months. And I think they really try to put out perfect fall colors out there because they know it's going to be used the most in the fall. And I saw this shade at Michael's, and it's called Raisin, and I absolutely love it. It is so pretty. It's this rich purple tweed color. It's just gorgeous. But you can make so much stuff out of this. You can make home deck items like baskets, pillows, blankets. You could also make apparel items. There's just so much you can make out of Thick and Quick. It's almost ridiculous how much stuff you can make, and it would take you no time at all to make any of those projects. Another favorite of mine is the Lion brand. This is the Basic Stitch, and this is the anti-pilling version. And I really like this yarn because it's kind of a fancier fancier worsted weight, and why it is because it's anti-pilling. If you don't know what pilling is, it's whenever the yarn starts to kind of pill and it's like a little tiny fuzzy that's usually kind of, you'll start seeing them randomly pop up, and that can be a little bit annoying, especially whenever you've worked on a garment for a really long time and it starts to pill after a couple washes. Well, this yarn is anti-pilling, so the yarn should not pill at all, which is really nice, I think, because especially if you were going to knit something very complicated and you want it to last a long time, I definitely will use an anti-pilling yarn so it does not pill and the strands don't become weak because they're pilling so bad, and then it rips and there's a hole in your beautiful sweater that you've knitted forever. So I kind of like that this yarn is anti-pilling. I love the shades that they have. The only thing that does disappoint me is you only get 185 yards out of them, and they range about $4 or $5. So that part kind of stinks, but it is a good yarn. I've repurchased it a lot, and I actually have, I don't know if you guys can see, but this little square right here is all my basic stitch yarn. So I've repurchased it quite a few times, and you can find them on sale at Joanns for like $2. Usually around Black Friday or Cyber Monday, you can find them pretty cheap, which is when you should stock up on them. But I really love this yarn. It is super nice, and I would definitely recommend it. So this one is a little bit more of a fancier yarn, but I got this yarn for my birthday last year and I had to share it with you guys, and I've not used it yet because it's like one of those yarns I just stare at because I think it's so pretty. But it is by the brand, I believe you say Sewrella. And this is in the shade Moana, and it's after the movie, and it was a collection from last summer, and she does such beautiful work with her dye work. It is gorgeous, the hand dye yarn she produces. It is so pretty. Right now there is a Little Mermaid collection that I think has already launched by the time this video is going up, and it is gorgeous. I have to say, I'm definitely going to repurchase more yarn from them because it is so pretty. And you can get this was a sock set, and so you get a little skein of a main skein, which is 400 yards, and then you get a mini skein, which is 80 yards. So you get a total of 480 yards, and it's just so pretty, and there's just so many good things to say about it. Just gorgeous, like colors you never envisioned together. You'll see them and be like, oh my goodness, this speaks to me. I need that yarn. I follow her, but I have to like not follow her too closely or I'd be poor, because literally I just want to buy all the yarn she makes. It's just gorgeous. So definitely check out if you're looking for a really nice hand-dyed yarn. I would definitely check them out, and I'll have their Instagram link down below. Alright, so another really great cotton yarn that I love is the Hobby Lobby I Love This Cotton. This is a really good soft cotton that's not too rough. I know how I mentioned earlier with the peaches and cream and the sugar and cream, it's a little bit more on the rough side. I love this cotton because it's on the softer side, and it's just really nice to use for anything. You could definitely make more projects out of the soft yarn for apparel wise rather than maybe the peaches and cream or sugar and cream. So it's a really good yarn. They also have amazing beautiful colors, just like the I Love This yarn. So it's kind of like I Love This yarn but the cotton version. So they both have the same pros and cons. So I would definitely recommend checking out this yarn if you're looking for a good soft cotton that is worsted weight. Alright, and the last skein I want to talk about is the Joanns Big Twist Value yarn, and this I have to say is a really good worsted weight yarn. I was kind of surprised because I tried it on a whim. It was on sale and I was just kind of like, I guess I could try it. I've tried Hobby Lobby, I love this yarn and everything. So I thought, why not try it? And I have to say, I really do like it. It actually surprised me because I was thinking that I was probably going to be more on the rough side, but actually ended up being very soft. I've made a sweater out of this yarn and it turned out beautiful, and it washed really well. It looked very nice. And I think it's kind of a yarn that's overlooked because it is just Joann's brand of a worsted weight yarn. And I just think that maybe people should try it out a little bit more. I'm also making my cat a couch out of this yarn, and it's working up really nice. And I wanted to use this yarn because I thought it'd be really good, especially if it needs to be thrown in the wash. It will wash up really well. So I definitely think you guys should check this yarn out if you haven't already, as just a very good basic acrylic yarn. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for the yarns that I have repurchased or I will definitely be repurchasing. I hope you guys found these mini reviews helpful, and thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!